Ah, hey
Oh,
Claudio, how are you?
good. How are you?
Good, thank you.
Are you in
Um,
South Australia now, right?
we are in lockdown. Yeah, they say it's gonna be until Tuesday, but they changed it a couple of hours ago, so it's gonna be
Yeah.
only until Sunday, which is
Uh,
good. Adelaide is doing amazing. Like,
yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Wow. It
that's
was quick.
really,
It was just a couple of days, and then everything is solved. Good
yeah,
news.
yeah, that's good. We are in Australia, we're in the lucky country.
Exactly. Especially South
Yeah.
Australia.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So I was talking to Jonathan from Quality College, who was talking to us about cookery courses in Adelaide because they have campus in Adelaide and in Sydney as well. And we invite you to explain to us the pathway people has with these courses. Um, and it can be in general, like in Australia. So for people who would
Yeah.
like to study these cookery courses, we have a couple of questions for you. If you want to introduce yourself and about seven migrations.
Sure. Yeah, okay. My name is Claudio. I'm the director of Civil Migration. I am also a registered migration agent. And we have offices in Perth, Adelaide, and also representatives in Sydney. Which is definitely the three best states to migrate to Australia today.
Mm.
Uh, Perth and Adelaide being regional, they are in a bit of advantage, but there's still lots of pathways to migrate in the eastern states, not as much as regional areas, but still, we can always
Yeah.
find to create a pathway and a plan for our clients to migrate.
All right, cool. Thank you. So one of the questions we have is if someone study commercial cookery, is eligible to migrate, and what are the migration pathway they have?
All right, so I used to I usually say that commercial cookery course is a very straightforward process
All right.
because it's a 3 year process that there's really nothing much to change. It's usually a 2 year of study. In quality, for example, is a certificate 3, certificate 4, and a diploma of
All right.
hospitality. Certificate 3 and 4 being the commercial cookery, and the diploma of hospitality, which then you can conclude the 2 year studies. When
All
you
right.
study 2 years in Australia, it's called a Australian study requirement. And because you are studying towards an occupation that is in the medium long term, which chef is, then you are eligible to apply for the graduate visa, right? So 2 year course, then you apply for the graduate visa. The
All
graduate
right.
visa has 18 months in which you have to do the job ready program.
All
So
right.
you can use the graduate visa to complete your job ready program, which is a program by Trades Recognition Australia to
All
give
right.
you a skills assessment. And with that skills assessment, then you can go and request an invitation for the state you are living, or maybe you can try to apply for another visa. But
All right.
usually it's a 3 year process just because you need to study for 2 years to comply with the Australian study requirement and be eligible for the graduate visa. And the graduate
Okay.
visa nowadays is the key to migrate. So it's very important that uh,
Yeah.
we advise students to try to find a course that
Mm.
will make them eligible for the graduate visa, because then they can comply with the work experience requirements before they can request a
Yeah.
visa.
Yeah, because this graduate visa is basically a full-time work permission visa where they can get the experience, but not all the courses are eligible for this one. So they need to find the specific one depending on the state, right?
Exactly. This is a bit tricky. Everyone thinks,
Mm.
okay, I'm 32 years in Australia, I'm going to be eligible for the graduate visa. But
Yeah,
it's not exactly like that, because if you are studying the 2 year course, it has to be towards an occupation that is in the medium long term list.
yeah,
The medium long term list has 200 and some occupations. Most of them are bachelor level, so they're skill
yeah,
level, so
yeah,
they require you to study a bachelor. So if you're studying a vocational course, there are really not many options that are in the medium long-term list. I think there might be 20 or 30 occupations that are vocational level,
yeah.
the medium long-term list. So you have to study an occupation that is relevant to these occupations.
Yeah. All right.
So,
Cool.
yeah,
There is
qualification
just
has,
two lists, only two lists, right? The medium long term and the short list, right? So they
well,
need
there
to
are,
focus on.
yeah, there's the medium, long, short, and regional,
All
but
right.
specifically for the graduate visa, the occupation must be on the medium long term. So
All
chef
right.
is an occupation that is in the medium long term, and is very likely it will remain in the medium long, because everyone knows there's a very
Yeah.
high demand for the occupation. So it's I wouldn't say it's a safe pathway, but it's very likely to
Yeah.
work if
No, and now
you.
it's in the top ones, right? In Australia.
Yeah,
It's in the first one. Yeah, cookery.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Cool.
it's especially true because most of the migration plans in Australia involves the person working in their field in Australia.
Yeah.
So chef, everyone knows, is a pretty easy way to work in Australia in the field, because sometimes you are doing the first course, the certificate 3, and you're already in the kitchen. You are working in a dishwasher or something, right?
Yeah.
Kitchen hand. Um, why, if you keep working in the kitchen, when you complete your qualifications, very likely you will be rewarded with a higher position.
Yeah. Because you are
You
already in. Yeah. That's good.
exactly, you're already working in the field.
Yeah.
You're already completing your qualifications. It's very likely you will be promoted
Yeah.
to cook and then
Yeah.
chef. So
Oh, that's a good advice for people. Yeah.
exactly, yeah. By the time you finish the course, it's very likely the applicant will be already employed as a chef, and then he and she can do the graduate visa
Yeah.
as a, to apply for a visa.
Cool. Great. Thank you. So, another question is, how good should be my English? When you want to migrate,
Well,
that's a good question. Yeah.
in
Australian English, all right?
Australia, there's no skill visa available for people who don't have at least competent English. Competent English is 6 on IELTS on each of the 4 components, or
Right.
50 on PTE. So if you don't have at least 6 on IELTS or 50 on PTE, there's no way you can apply for any
All right.
permanent in Australia through the skill pathways.
All right. Cool.
It will depend also on your points test. So if you have if you are in the right age, you have the right qualifications, backgrounds, depending on if you're including a partner or not,
Yeah.
you might need a higher English. For
Yeah.
example,
Okay.
English, which is 7 on IELTS, or 65 on PTE, but that it might be the case only if you need a higher points score, because
Yeah.
lacking
Yeah.
points from other aspects. For
Yeah.
example,
Yeah.
for a person who is 40 to 44 years old, it's very likely they will need higher points.
Yeah.
So they will need to
Yeah.
compensate the points for age with a higher score on IELTS, for
Yeah.
example.
So the
So,
better English you have, more point you get,
exactly.
basically. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
we can use IELTS is English is always the quicker way to increase your points, right? So
Okay.
it cannot change the age we have, unfortunately, right?
Uh,
For you to gain extra 5 points in qualification, it's a bachelor degree. You have to study for 3 years.
all right.
Experience, you need to work for 1 year, 3 years to increase 5 points. So
Yeah.
English, just 1 point that you can increase in your
Yeah.
score, it gives you 10 points.
Yeah. All
So it's
right.
the
And it can
easiest
be in
way.
different certification of English. It doesn't need to be like just IELTS test. Can be IELTS, PTE, Cambridge,
Cambridge, OET for applicants in the health industry,
the health area. Yeah.
TOEFL. So there are plenty
TOEFL.
of,
Yeah.
one will choose one that is more likely they
All
will.
right. All right. I hear the much easiest one is PTE, right? A lot of people want to do PTE now because it's much easier
Yeah.
for them. Yeah.
Well, exactly easier. It will depend. I always say it depends on what's your weakness. For some people who have problems writing with the writing,
Mm.
PT might be a better option. But
All right.
yeah,
Okay.
in my opinion, because I have done both
Yeah.
tests,
Yeah.
and the writing was much better on PT than IELTS.
All right.
But
Yeah.
for example, if the person has problems with speaking, it might be different. So we have
Yeah.
each person is different. Is the best way is to test both tests, test
Yeah.
both, and see
Yeah.
which you find better.
Yeah, I know, and people can do like a bit of research in Google, in YouTube, and find tips. Which one
Exactly.
is the best test for them? Yeah,
Yes.
cool.
So if you research on internet, you can find mock tests. So you can simulate the test. So you can see, okay, this test I like, this one I don't like, and you see and choose the one you find best.
All right, cool. Yeah, I think that one is not for free. You just need to pay a small amount, or no?
Well, there are a few mock tests that are for free, but
All right, cool.
they're not. Well, usually they're not very good. So if you want to do a
Yeah,
good test that is
a
similar,
simulation. Yeah.
yeah, so it's usually paid.
All right, cool. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Thank you. And how do I know if I meet all the requirements?
Well, first of all, you have to finish the course. That's the first requirement you must comply. So
Yeah.
you study for 2 years. When you complete the 2 years, all courses related to the occupation of chef. Then you need to, for you to apply for the graduate visa, you need to have done 360 hours of work placement, which I believe quality already includes, right? In
Yeah,
the
they include it in the course. Yeah, yeah, that's good.
So yeah, so you can use the vocational placement of the school, or you can, if you are already working throughout your course as a chef or
All
as a cook,
right.
then you can use your work experience as well as a vocational placement. So you need
All right.
300 hours, and you need
Yeah.
the English test for the graduate visa. You need just an overall of 6 on IELTS with a
All right.
minimum of 5. So
Okay.
two
In each
first,
band.
yeah. 5 on
Cool.
each list, but the overall must be 6. So
6.
let's say you have
Yeah.
5.5, 6, and 7.
Yeah.
Your
Yeah.
overall is
All right.
6, is 5. Then you're good to go. So
All right.
once you have done the 360 hours, then you have the right level of English. Then you go on the graduate visa.
All right.
On the visa, you have to do the job ready program. The job ready program will involve first 1 year of work experience as a chef or as a cook,
All
whatever
right.
you plan to apply.
All right.
So 1,725 hours of work experience paid through an employer.
Okay.
And
All right.
your course is done, you have to do through an employer. And okay, so you have done that, and then there's a third step, which is practical assessment, where
All
you
right.
will in your workplace. And there's a fourth step, which is pretty straightforward, and then you get a skills assessment. The skills
All right.
assessment is a requirement for any skill visa. So for any skill visa points test, you need to have a skills assessment. So
All right.
far, have completed 2 years course, 360 hours of work placement, 6 on IELTS, 1 year of work experience, practical
Yeah.
assessment. Then you have the skills assessment, and then you're good to request the invitation for a skill visa. You cannot apply for a skill visa just because you want to, right? So there are limited places, and you need to be invited. The
All right.
most common invitations are now through the state. So
Okay.
South Australian students are very lucky to have one of the best states, one of the states that has the lowest point requirement and the
Okay.
more flexible requirements in terms of application.
All
So
right.
usually, if you have done your studies in South Australia and if you have worked in South Australia for 1 year, because you have done the job ready program, usually you will be already eligible to request an invitation for this stage.
All right.
But of course, we are in the middle of a pandemic. We don't know
What's gonna happen? Yeah.
at this moment the
Yeah.
states not issuing many invitations, but I think it's just a matter of time for them to resume.
Yeah.
And chef
It's
is
not many
already
people coming anymore at the moment, so they are happy for people to come.
exactly,
You know, there is a
exactly.
guy.
Just like it's something that it's bothering everyone, right? So the pandemic is
Yeah,
closing businesses. So of course the state is not focusing on invitation or inviting people to skill visas right now. They
yeah.
are in managing the pandemic and decreasing the number of infected.
Yeah.
So it's possible that soon, and it's very likely that soon that will be inverted and
Okay.
invitations will be issued again for all occupations, and chef is not different.
All right. Yeah, there is Alexander asking if still is cook still on the list, and it is good a pathway for PR for permanent resident, Claudio.
Um, until June, because the migration plan of the state goes from 1st of July until 30th of June. So
Yeah.
we are now in November, end of November, but the state hasn't defined the list for this year, this financial year. So
Yeah.
at the moment, all occupations are on the list, but they're not issuing invitations.
Okay.
It's not that we issue any invitations before they define the occupation list now in December.
Okay.
Until June, Cook
Okay.
was on
Okay.
the
But we
and,
have Cook
right,
on the list at the moment. We just need to wait for the news in other life for people who is in
exactly,
other life. But they
yeah,
need to check in each state as well. Yeah.
exactly. So I know that Alexandre is in Adelaide.
Yeah. Ah, he's in Adelaide. Okay.
Yeah, we have
Cool.
exchanged some emails today. And
Cool.
Adelaide was in the list until June. Now all occupations are available, but they're not issuing any invitations. It's very limited invitations they are issuing
All
at
right.
this moment. But they will
Okay.
be releasing the new list in December, and I hope,
Finger
and I'm
crossed.
pretty sure Cook will be there. If
Yeah.
it's
Cool. Thank you,
Chef,
Claudia.
which is more likely.
So another question is how much do I need to save to do my PR process?
How much?
How
In terms of
much?
how much?
Ooh la
Wow,
la.
cheaper than a student visa, probably. Well,
Yeah.
there's steps involved, right? So when
Yeah.
you finish the course, you have to do your graduate visa. The graduate visa will have a cost, and then you have to do your job ready program throughout the graduate visa.
Mm-hmm.
That has a cost, and then we have to request the invitation to the state. And when the state invites, we have to apply for the state nomination. And when the
All
state
right.
nominates, we have to apply for the visa. So there are many
Okay.
steps.
But
It
they
takes,
don't have to pay everything at once. They can pay the postgraduate for the graduate visa, sorry, first, which is
yeah.
how much?
The graduate visa, usually students will spend about $4,000, $5,000 for the process of the graduate
For
visa.
everything. Okay.
Yeah, and then they will do the job ready program. The job ready program has 4 steps. Each step has a different cost. Let's
Okay.
say I'll tell people to save around $15,000, but this will not be paid at once. They will be
Uh,
using this $15,000 for the graduate visa, the job ready program, the state nomination, the expression
all right.
of interest, and the visa. It might be
All
more,
right.
it might be less, depending if you're including family or not.
Yeah.
But it's about that.
Yeah. All
But
right.
I would say it's worth it because it's the last visa you will be applying in Australia.
And then you're free.
And then you're free.
You don't have a student visa anymore, so it's good. Yeah. No, and people
Exactly.
can, and at this stage, people is gonna work full time. When you have a postgraduate visa, you work full time, and probably your life changed in Australia
Uh,
completely.
after you finish the diploma of hospitality, it's another life because then you don't have to
Exactly. Yeah.
you don't have to do a set, you don't have
Yeah.
to work full time. You're free to work full time, do whatever you want. It's just a matter of time until you reach your permanent residency. Life of students is behind you. So,
Yeah.
of course, life
Yeah.
is another.
Yeah. It's what I say to students when they are doing English courses in here and they want to go back to their countries because they don't want to study because they feel bad, like because they have to study a lot, maybe or go every day to school. I say to them, let's wait for your vocational course. You're going to enjoy it. You're
Hmm.
gonna go to classes not every single day, and then you're gonna be able to work more and practice more your English. That's the time you need to the opportunity to practice your English. Actually, yeah, it's a really good thing. Yeah,
The life of a student is starts with the worst part, which is the English learning, right? The difficulty finding job. But then
yeah,
you move to vocational, you already have a better English, you're already
yeah,
working possibly in your field, less
yeah,
hours of study, more hours of work, and then you
yeah,
move to graduate visa, which is another life, and then
yeah,
you get there. So it's
yeah,
just a matter of having patience because everyone will get there. It's just a matter
yeah,
of going step by step. No, don't jump steps. Don't skip English, for example, because I know people
yeah,
who are finishing the diploma of hospitality and still don't have the level of English to apply for the graduate visa.
yeah. It's really important.
Keep studying whatever
Yeah. We all
until the
need to do it. We need to keep practicing and everything. And in the
exact.
job field, it's going to be the same. People don't want to work sometimes in the kitchen, cleaning the kitchen and stuff like that. But this is the way to start in every single job. Just start in these cookery courses. You start like this. You start cleaning like how is the name of the job? I forgot the name.
Kitchen.
Kitchen hand. Kitchen hand, and then you can help the chef after that, and then you can be the main chef. And it's the same in every single job. Like when you work in technology area, you start like doing what people don't want to do, programming, and then you can do some analysis, and then projects, and then the a project management manager or leader. So yeah, it's part of the
Yeah,
game. We just need
just
to have patience. Yeah.
yeah. Many people use the commercial cookery as a pathway to PR, but they don't really like the field, which is fair.
Yeah.
Uh, but it's a good way to migrate,
Yeah.
regardless. I always
Yeah.
tell people to try to find a migration pathway that will also be their life pathway in Australia. But it's important that because we don't have lots of options, sometimes
Yeah.
people who use the commercial cookery course to migrate and they plan to change careers, but it's an experience as well. So it's good that they will
Yeah.
learn how to cook.
Yeah. All right, Claudia. Well, there is another question from Alexander. Does the government ask for payslip when you apply for the graduate visa?
Yes, yes. So you can use the 360 hours of work placement. You can do through the vocational placement of the school, which is usually unpaid, in which case they will not
Yeah.
require any, but as long as the vocational placement was part of the course. If the
All right.
vocational placement was part of the course, you will probably not be paid, so you don't need to show pay slips. But if you are doing through an employer and you are being paid, then
Okay.
you must show
Cool.
your pay.
Cool. There is Adri Kali. She's asking if I know that I need an overall of 50, but how much do I need in each PTE then?
Oh yeah, yeah. We always say IELTS narrow. Okay, you did 6 overall with minimum band 5 on IELTS. On PTE is overall 50 with minimum band 36.
All
So you
right.
have to remember 36 on each band. At least the
36.
overall be 50.
Okay, cool. So all good, Adriki. I can't pronounce her name, but all good with that.
Oh,
Anything you can send to us a message, a private messaging, we can help you with that. Yeah, cool.
yeah. All right.
So yeah, so if we had any more inquiries, Claudia, we are gonna send to you.
Yeah.
I just wanted to say thank you for today. We tried to ask you the question that people normally ask. All good?
Mm,
Yeah, she's saying all good. Cool.
okay.
We're happy to help you. So anything. There is another question. Is there any age limitation? Oh, good question.
Oh yeah. There's a age limitation, which is 50 years old. You cannot be 50. For
Okay.
the visa, okay? For the graduate visa, you cannot be 50. So
Okay.
you can apply until you are 49. But of course, once you are over 45, your migration pathway will be very limited. It's going to be
Okay.
to apply for PR. But for the graduate visa list, the age limit is higher than the skill visa options.
All right, cool. Claudio, I don't know if you have 1 minute more because
Yeah.
there is another question. I know people want to talk to you a lot and you're so
Mhm.
busy, so I think they are trying here. Here say, painter was with Flatgood changed the list from long term to short term. Do you think it's going to happen?
Uh, Nobody knows. Actually, nobody knows because the bulletin, right? They created that flag occupation list. They
All
created
right.
before the pandemic, and that was supposed to have happened in March, and it
All right.
didn't. Budget was postponed. So at this moment, nobody knows which occupations will remain on the list,
All
which
right.
will be removed. They will probably release a new review of the list with
All right.
another list of occupations that might change list. But we don't know if they're going to be the same as it was before, if they're going to include new occupations, remove
All right.
new occupations.
We need
My
to wait. All right.
as good as any.
Yeah, all right, cool. But yeah, people, you can you can follow us in social media because as soon as we have the list, which is gonna be maybe the first week of December, we are gonna post straight away, maybe in the social media, so you
Yeah,
can
and
follow us all.
we will have a seminar at Instagram with Seven Migration in December with
Cool.
all the changes of South Australia, including the list, including the DAMA also,
All
which is
right.
a topic we're going to be discussing.
Okay.
So,
Then on the visa. Okay. All right, cool.
mhm.
Okay, Claudio, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Cheers to everybody in Perth. Okay. Bye bye. And
Safe.
thank you. Okay.
Bye.
Bye bye. Have a good day. Bye. Thank you. All right, guys. So if you have any other questions, please send to us. Don't forget, we had more seminars coming in the following weeks. So we have a carpentry in Brisbane office. We have engineering in Perth office. We have a social worker in Sydney office and nursing in Adelaide as well. So let's keep following us in social media. Thank you for your time today and see you soon. Okay? Bye-bye.